I don't know it.
I know, but you just automatically did it that one time, you said, oh.
Well, I just punched in a number and it opened.
I know.
I have no code to get in this damn door.
Okay.
I thought I understood that the codes were set up with the code
I was never informed.
People know the
was the
better.
last four of your phone number.
I was never informed I had a
Is
code.
that
It used to be, but then it got changed or something.
right?
Yeah.
We
And
never
then I
had
asked
to do
about
it.
to have one assigned.
All right, well, let's make a motion that Sean get close to the,
Are you wanting it just into this building, or are you wanting into every building?
Whatever. I mean, if I can't get in this building, if there's an emergency or anything, you know?
I always thought the whole governing body ought to have codes and
Yeah.
keys to the main stuff, so that if somebody was out of town, they could get to it.
I got
yours
so
that
many
way?
numbers in my head.
That's the way,
well.
back when Vicky was
what I
mayor,
would
we
like
started
to propose
pushing that direction. I don't think we got it implemented the first time she was
that
in.
we change
Do
these
that where all the keys go
function
when
locks
you were
Well,
here.
that's why we went to
Code lock.
codes on them,
or just
so we
key
don't have
locks.
to repeat.
If we're doing that, why are we gonna?
Otherwise, you gotta recode it, because they used to have keys, and then they
Jim, have
disappeared
Oh, yeah.
in between, and then you have to rekey
Question,
everything.
have you
They should-
compared
With
the
the codes,
cost
you just
of the
recode
key
it.
locks to putting in regular locks, including this door that is an old-fashioned door and needs a special fitting for the fact of that you get all the people, you have to make all the keys. I just looked, a single key is $4. Every time somebody loses one, or every time you have an election and you decide to change the locks, how much is that going to run up in money?
Now, who said it's gonna have to be changed every election?
Well, you change your council members, the council member loses a
They
key.
turn their keys.
If
You
have
lose
a
one.
padlock, you just turn the key.
But if you turn the
That's
keys
a
over,
lot.
so you don't have to have a minimal amount.
No, it won't count.
You get one key lock, then you can get a lock.
That was a one-time cost.
Yeah, you got your key.
Diggle said he would have done it for nothing.
Would you have had to change the whole door?
Well,
I wish Dale
as
would've
far as
offered
that
that.
goes, to change it for
I didn't wanna do it.
a key lock,
He could have done it for nothing.
since I paid for the advertising to replace the water hydrant, which council refused to pay.
It's a flush hydrant, not a water hydrant.
Yeah, that's a flush hydrant.
It just has specifically, has to be mentioned the right way.
Okay, there's flush hydrant. Some call it a relief valve, so whatever you want to call it. Same thing. Flush valve, flush hydrant, whatever you want to call it.
I just told that's what it was.
Yeah. Okay, as far as the keys, to change it to a lock key with keys that are not able to be duplicated, I'll stand the cost myself.
We just check in, have to check into it.
Let's say we table that till next meeting till you check into it, see what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree too.
It's the only code I got memorized.
No, that shouldn't, I mean, I don't know how that goes, but yeah,
But I know
table it.
that somebody saw somebody coming out of the city building there. I should have been in there.
Do we have proof that that happened?
I said, someone told me.
Do you have documentation of that?
Yeah, who was that?
You know, that's an idea. Do you agree with what you told me?
Well,
Who
no,
gave you,
because I know.
who gave you the authority not to give me those keys and information?
Nobody.
We're
Or
just
did you
asking,
just
who told
assume
you
you
that?
had that authority?
I just know that everything had to go through the council.
Aren't we done with that particular bone?
That was a long time ago.
It's a chew bone.
I know.
That goes on right now.
Yeah, okay.
You better call Chewy.
Make a motion. You have any other business?
I have a communication since you skipped that part of the agenda. May I speak?
Was it on the other agenda either? No?
usually you have a public
Public
comment time.
comment.
That was never asked.
That was
So
skipped,
the end-
yeah.
The end of the meeting.
We skipped that.
It's gotta be done, your comment.
Okay, no,
No,
I still want to set a alternate date for the meetings that fall on holidays or when a quorum is not available.
And I think
An
that's
ordinance has to be made for that. An ordinance has to be made for that.
We could do that, we can pass it and write it in ordinance.
well, I don't think we should be passing anything till we have an attorney.
Well, you can amend an ordinance to, it's ordinance number 11, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
You can amend it, huh?
All right.
Okay.
Okay, the dead trees we have in the community here, we have about 5 in the park and 5 on the east side of Commercial Street. How does the council want to handle those dead trees?
I think we put an ad in the paper for somebody that can remove them.
Didn't you have a volunteer to do that?
Or we have a person,
Motion to take bids.
you know how much that's gonna cost?
To put it in the paper?
No.
No, to take them down.
That's why we said, put it in the paper, motion to get bids to see what it's gonna cost.
5 to 700.
But when if our volunteer can do it, then we'll just entertain it for now.
I'm having two suggestions here. What did you say, Casey? Just take bids?
Yeah, you know, she take bids, put an ad in the paper.
Okay, now is the city gonna pay for the ads if you put it in the paper?
Yes.
Sure.
You did it last time.
The city wasn't asked.
The city didn't know about that ad in the roll paper.
But
We didn't know about the ad you put in the
You followed the
paper.
league rules, don't you?
Yes,
They
it
said
has to
that-
be approved by the council for you to put an ad in the paper.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Okay, can you state me the article stating that?
Yes, I'm gonna look it up for you. I will do it.
Paper. Copy.
Well, I'll go home and copy it.
Paper copy.
I will. I'll have it for you next meeting.
It's more of a second ad.
So, well, I had one,
Yeah, I'll
maybe
second.
do volunteer work, and then another one said he wants to take bids, so,
I said, let's put Tracy
Either way,
motion.
I don't care.
Just get the trees out of
Let's
here
get
first.
something done right now. I wanna go home and have dinner.
Well, the branch almost fell on him at the pancake feast,
Oh, no, I was around the corner.
but you were near it.
that was.
I heard it when I was getting in my truck.
So that was on the.
What if a kid was walking under that and bam,
Yeah,
city screwed?
that was a big ass branch.
okay, well, since you.
I guess people don't care about the kids in the
What's
community.
the motion, what's the motion?
Just have your volunteer do it. Who cares? As long as it gets done. Cause my kid gets hurt by a tree, I'm suing the city. Best believe. He's got all rights to run the street like every other kid.
That includes your tree in the backyard.
My tree's coming down.
So are we motioning to
No.
get a volunteer?
Ryan got smacked in the face.
He said, move the volunteer, do it, I didn't hear a second.
Motion to have the volunteer do it.
Second.
There we go. It's all freaking done.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion
Okay,
to
so then,
adjourn.
wait,
Your comment.
I
Motion
have a
by
comment.
Sean, seconded by Tracy to have a volunteer.
Just take them out, yes.
Tracy, wait till I get my comment.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry,
you have to wait
Elizabeth.
for the mayor to say it.
The sidewalk down at the UMC sidewalk and curb, what kind of priority do you want to put on fixing that? Sidewalk and curb down by
At
the
the Methodist
UMC.
church?
Yeah, it's broken down.
Motion to Terry Brown fix it.
Pardon?
He motioned to have Terry Brown fix it.
Terry Brown.
Yeah,
Is
he
that
fixed
Sean?
it once before, did he not?
No.
I
I
worked
think he did
on it.
some
He did
work,
not do
but
that.
I'm not sure if it was
He
there.
worked on it.
He worked on the corner.
Okay.
He worked on the sewer drain.
Okay, motion by Sean to have Terry Brown do it. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
What if he doesn't wanna do it?
He already said he would.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
All in
He's
favor,
good,
motion carried.
Yeah, he already said he would.
he's good. He knows
Didn't
what
hear
he's
you
doing.
Yeah, he did my sidewalk.
He's getting up to the driveway in my yard.
I got Shelby and Shania's initials in my sidewalk to prove it.
Look at him.
Alright, Jim, do you have a public comment?
Couple of things. First, I wanna compliment the Legion people that fixed up their sign. It looks very, very nice. Does have one little glitch because the flag is still getting caught on it.
We know about, we gotta try to fix it.
I thought it was fixed and I walked up and said, it's back there. So, but there is a new flag sitting right by you, Dwayne, from the ones the city purchased in case of the problem with the flag. But I would like to be sure it doesn't get caught anymore before that goes up. Secondly, I would like to see our big flag flying on the windmill by the 4th of July. I will volunteer to put the flag up most mornings. I won't say I'll do it every single day, but I will try to get it up most days for at least July, and I'll have to see what my schedule's looking at like after that. It got kind of cold and I got booted off the council, so I kind of stopped. But if you will let me take care of that flag, I will put it up in the morning and take it down at night until we get to the point where we can have it lit and up all the time. It looks so good up there, and I got so many nice compliments last year.
Okay, I have a motion to let him do that.
Second.
Second by Jackie.
Aye.
All in favor, see show of hands. All in favor?
Okay, so Sean,
Motion, Tracy seconded.
Jackie said.
Jackie seconded?
Yeah, she beat me to it.
Okay, I heard you.
But I do have a question. Now, Sarah mentioned a couple of meetings back about putting a flagpole with a light on it for the flag in the park.
We just gotta get a light we can put on the bottom of the window that'll shine up and bright on. That's all we gotta get.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's any electricity to the windmill.
You can't buy one of the ones that.
Get those solar ones.
Yeah, but those are, and in fact, I was going to, if I could find one that I liked, I was going to donate it to the city, but yeah, I would like to,
Or we
yeah,
just,
it's gotta be a pretty big
or
one.
we just can't get one where we put it in the ground there and plug into the shelter house and just.
That's a long ways to run the
And
cord.
then unplug it.
Especially when you're mowing and whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go and plug in a light every night, if I might as well take the flag down if I have to plug it in.
Okay, or how do
We have a flag, yes.
Oh, good, where are we at now?
All minds clear?
I must adjourn.
I second that motion.
Did the Legion want to do anything? Anything for the Legion?
Well, we'd like to.
There wasn't enough room on the agenda.
Yeah, well, that's the problem I was talking about, Sharon.
Take care of the city.
It's the agenda, but the public can't speak.
and the mayor never gave me his agenda, so that's why there was only one.
John didn't finish the call.
I think you said Sarah never got a hold of you.
She's, well, you know why?
She said you blocked her on Facebook, so she didn't
Oh,
have
wait.
your phone. So I gave her her, when she was here, gave her.
You guys drive by
She didn't have any of them.
Well, I'm following around it, so.
Did you do it? Did you ever put it on?
Go by everybody's house.
You guys drive by our city.
I went over there to face the other day.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Go ahead,
Search button, search.
I do have one thing, a question, you know.
I was told it was not approved.
Yeah, I'm not approved. What's that?
It wasn't approved to the
I don't
council.
know, you don't have to have it on your. Oh,
That's
all right.
I don't know what's going on. It was never brought up to approving.
He's friends on.
Go ahead, Dwayne.
I just have one question here about this historical thing here. I guess you can't put the ceiling tiles up Somebody got married in here. I didn't notice there was a big old tall, you know, the ceiling down, didn't bother me none.
Yeah.
But it doesn't,
Here better?
Yes, and the heat and everything else.
Here, no. I mean,
They're not gonna change the outside of the building, I mean, you know, not like it's gonna knock all the brick off the siding on it. People come to see what the history looks like, they look at the outside of the building, they don't come inside. You know what?
Hey, folks, you know, how many years they're talking about before they get that done?
I know.
The members of the Legion, he's
He's the second
76,
generation.
and I'm 76, he's 74, and I can't tell you, Dale's 74. You know, by the time they get that, passed, that we can do that, they'd single one of us, if we're even alive, that probably already passed that, so we're gonna have to get that done. But we can do this. It's one of them deals, you know.
double color.
It's now or never.
Then it's white, but it has sort of like a little yellowish cast.
And if they don't wanna do it now,
Banana cream.
well, maybe the Legion will just take
I
the
just
money
planted
and
it last
go
year and
next
this
door
year.
that way or down the road
Hey,
this way and
Dennis,
build
what
our own
money?
building.
You're not paying rent now.
We ain't got nothing to.
Right, when we, council said, okay, we won't ask you to pay your $75 rent every month, but we asked you to volunteer to help on the building. We were working to work, and we asked for volunteers, we got one, and he did a wonderfully good job. But we got
Working on
one.
the building.
We work on this
Brad did
building.
this
Hey, we sent the only electrician we had. The rest of us were not
Did
electricians.
more than just electricity, I think.
It's very hard for me to come up from Topeka here.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are considerations. And
When I
know
would
he's-
come up, you know,
he's
I told the
younger.
guys I would help put the ceiling tiles up or come do that, you know.
Like, I think he redid all the duct work and everything in here, didn't he?
Yes.
I don't know that any of you even talked to him about helping out.
That's not original.
Mr. Mayor, can I make a couple of comments?
Yes.
First thing I'd like to say for the record is, the American Legion Post gave this whole building, with the exception of the post office, to the city for $1. Now, I don't think it's too much to ask for us to get to use it again and get it back. Second thing is, the contract that we are still under says the city is responsible for major repair. The city did, the last city council made zero effort to do any repairs in the lower portion of this building. The ceiling came down, they shoveled it out. The carpet got wet, they rolled it up. Brad came in and cleaned this up for only material cost. That room in there, as far as I'm concerned, is still the city's responsibility. Even though the Legion has raised money and is willing to put the ceiling in, at no labor cost. You've got an updated contract that we spent a lot of time talking about today. You've talked to an attorney. We've talked to an attorney. The two attorneys know each other, and they have said they'll be glad to get together and iron stuff out. What are we gonna do? Just adjourn the meeting and run away?
We have two offers for attorneys on the table right now that I think we want to
Damn right,
review.
I'd take a $200 attorney before I'd spend $100 on one.
I don't know what your point is.
200 is a lot more expensive than 100.
I don't think either one of them was asking for 100 or offering 100.
One was offering $220.
That was 170.
And yours was
But yeah, remember, you
175.
get what you pay for.
Yep, that's
I hate to point out to your $0 on this building, but there's new floor joists that you're currently sitting on that the city put in.
Did they put that in with insurance money?
That was, I think prior to the insurance
And
money.
I'm talking about insurance money.
So there's a roof over your head that came out of that insurance
Which
money.
cost, as we've been reported, cost $25,000 approximately. City gained $50,000 approximately. $25,000 apparently evaporated.
If you'll look around the corner there, there's still a post office in the city of Powhatan, and that cost a substantial amount to retain.
Okay, was it, so you fixed the post office, which is a little tiny corner of this building.
It's a revenue generating facility, not to mention it's a service facility for the whole community.
Okay. So that cost another 25?
It was $10,000 for the lead dust mitigation that the post office required, and I'd have to look. I believe that the treasurer's numbers, total improvements on this building were $48,000 some dollars, if I remember the number off the top of my head. I think the council has that sheet. I think that's what was passed out earlier.
But I wanna say
And
one more thing
you can,
That's the Legion Hall. In the 3 years since that roof got torn off, you guys never cared one little bit that us women had to be here. There was no push to do anything here then.
Wait a minute.
Nobody's.
Whoa, whoa, Cody.
Yeah.
You're right, when I got the.
So, Mr. Mayor, shall I tell our attorney not to bother to call Gordon Olson? Because if you're gonna hire an attorney that costs more money than him, he's talking to the wrong guy.
We didn't think it forward on that.
I know.
We need to go ahead and proceed with Mr. Gordon.
Okay.
so the mayor's gonna authorize expenditures without approval of the council. Okay.
That's not expenditure, that's just between your attorney, is it your, the Legion attorney or whatever?
It's a Legion attorney, but he's been a friend of mine for 20 years.
Okay.
And all I'm doing is talking to him on the phone, and he gives me all the answers that he wanna know, and I say, what do I owe you?
No
Nothing.
cost, no cost. That's
So
right.
is
Yeah.
Gordon
Yes,
gonna
no cost.
do the same thing for the city?
Yes.
Not for the city.
For the
I
Legion.
got Parker, but maybe.
He has some faults.
Yes.
Might be able to vote if they had more way.
I got a long way to go. What's that? Yeah.
I would.
All right, do it
No,
again next time.
because we got stuff, he got stuff done today.
If they would proceed with the ceiling, at least it would make it usable.
I think people would like to use it if it's fixed up and
I will-
and get more people to use it.
At least it's a step forward, and it's not gonna cost the city a dime.
I think if we did something, I think people would see that we're doing something,
Yeah.
and that would be a start, maybe get some other fixed up.
This room isn't fixed up. This is just, yes, and the floor, it's just disgusting.
Needs to be mopped is what it needs to be.
No, you mop it and it comes back just exactly like that
The
way.
city being on the agenda for next month.
I mean, ultimately, it needs to be sanded down. But
Something needs to be.
The contract, the proposed contract between the Legion and the city, can it be on the agenda for next month?
Yes, it can.
Right, haven't let it down, but yes, it can.
I hope the council understood tonight that the League of Municipalities stated that there is no law. In fact, it says it in the handbook that there's no law requiring that a city should have an agenda.
We never did in the past, did we?
No, but it's very helpful to have one.
Really?
Yes. Especially if you get it ahead of time, if you do that.
We can have a general
When
one,
we've
the
got, when
PT
we've
law
got this
has.
kind of a problem, maybe, we didn't have this problem 10 years ago.
Bob, your question was, you want the proposed contract and what?
In the agenda?
Agenda.
Because right now, the attorney that we're using is gonna call Mr. Olson and discuss the differences. We've got some minor differences in wording. And my attorney he says, I'm sure we can work this out and get it, so that the attorney that's acting on the city's behalf had no cost right now, and the attorney acting on the Legion's behalf can come to some kind of mutual understanding.
The conflict was over section 4, about the insurance. And Attorney Olson contacted Maximum Insurance, and they kept kicking it up, till finally they got up to the chief underwriter, and then he said that it was not going to matter. So they did some rewriting and rephrasing on the contract and stuff, and those two lawyers are going to go over that, and I'm sure that they will find it acceptable to Maximum Insurance.
In other words, the Legion should have their own renter's insurance for their contents. Yeah, okay, just because I've been renting for the last 34 years, I've never been any place, the place I was renting from supplied me with insurance on my contents. I always had to buy renter's insurance.
Sure, because
Oh, yeah.
you were paying.
Yeah.
So I would say the Legion buys their own renter's insurance for their
That
private
portion's been
contents.
deleted from that proposed.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not there any longer.
okay. The other thing I have, just as a citizen, is the city room is going to be under the Legion's control?
I simply copied the last contract, word for word, on what we were renting.
In that case, I would suggest you take that out, because otherwise, if the Legion has control of the city room, then the city needs to find a new office.
I don't think it's on there.
Yes,
It
it says
It
everything.
states everything except the post office.
Okay,
Yeah.
And that's the way it was written when Lyle was the
mayor,
mayor and it was signed.
yeah.
So, and if you're going to
Needs
have
to
the
change it.
public access computer up here, you've gotta figure out some way so people can have public access.
So, yeah, all you have to do is just change that
I-
wording, that's all.
And there is no internet here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't think there was.
No, there has been.
Yeah, that's, okay, yeah,
Now, being just the records, but that doesn't mean that the city should have just anybody in the Legion wanting to go in and look, should be able to go in and look.
Maybe
Well, I
that's a
don't think you can
negotiating
even get
point,
in there.
give and take.
You can't get in there anyway from here because it's blocked on the side, so.
But if they are wanting complete control of the building, I'm just saying that it seems to me that the city room should be out of the
Yeah,
contract.
We discussed all of that and made it a point for the attorneys to discuss,
yeah.
and they're going to talk about
Okay.
that and get it straightened out.
Cause that is one of the other, that and the fact that they're getting all the income. The light bill for this month was $109.
Yeah.
Which the city is paying, but yet if they rent it out, they're getting all the income.
Did you know that when the Legion Hall had this, they were also paying, not only this insurance, electricity, but you were paying for the shelter house, it was coming out of the Legion money,
Okay,
so.
but they haven't paid anything since last March.
How was that coming out of the Legion money? That shelter,
Ask him.
the shelter house,
Use it for 3 years.
the shelter house is routed from the pump
That's
house.
why we suspended your payments, but what I'm saying is that Legion activity's fine, but the city should still be able to rent out the room.
You gotta
for
come in
other
this room
things
so
and
they
get
can hear
at
you.
least part of the
They're not gonna
income.
listen anyway, so
But the way it's
It doesn't make
stated,
any
they get
difference.
all the
No,
income.
that's,
That's how it's read, I read it.
well,
We-
that
we
was the
changed the
draft,
schedule.
you read the draft, correct?
Yeah,
Okay, that has all been reworded,
So-
changed, and the attorneys are looking at all of
okay,
that.
because I just don't feel like the city
No.
should
No, you're right.
get $1 and they get
No.
everything else.
No, we
Well-
changed that wording, yes.
And I don't feel like the city should not pay what their contract requires and maintain that main part of the building. Let the Legion do it for nothing and let the city have all the
accepted that responsibility when they took the building.
Right, but they also retained the right to rent out the room, so and they were getting $75 a month rent. Which, you know, I know the storm messed everything up.
So he could.
Yeah, but because of the lack of, I mean, the insurance only went so far. Are you glad we have the post office yet? Is there anybody that's upset that we did not lose the post office?
I was upset when I had to go to Hiawatha to get my mail.
Right. Well, as I understand it, if you don't make the repairs they ask for in a very short amount of time, the post office goes out and contracts who they want to do it, and you have to pay whatever that fee is, whether it's normal or not. So, yeah, a lot of the money went to the post office because we wanted it back.
It didn't get done very quickly.
Well, it was drawn out. What I heard was they thought they had it done, and they come back and inspect. Oh, no, you have to do this and this and this and this also. They get that done. Oh, no, you have to do this and this and this also. So, yeah, it wasn't long.
We ended up having to carbon copy the correspondence with the post office, so that they would actually give us a straight answer on that. Yep.
Who was that?
That was, Turner, Will Turner. He had a representative that worked with us a lot on that, because, yeah, the story kept changing on that, and we finally made him start putting everything spelled out to the last.
Hey, how about